How's it going, guys? Alright, I just saw Halloween 2018 and this is my non-spoiler review. I'm gonna do my best not to reveal any plot points, especially when concerning certain characters. I'm just gonna give you guys what I felt generally about the film. I'm gonna do my best not to actually reveal what happened, just bring up something that happens in the film that's definitely an issue. Alright, I'm gonna start with all the positives first. First, Jamie Lee Curtis, phenomenal. She is excellent in this film. I think this is the best I've ever seen of her. Like, she is a warrior. Every scene she's in is so damn good. She elevates this movie to a whole other level every time you see her in a scene. Like, you don't want her to leave. Every time she's in a scene, it's so good. All around, Jamie Lee Curtis is perfect. Judy Greer, who plays Jamie Lee Curtis's daughter in the film, Laurie Strode's daughter, I really liked her character. She's not given too much to do until the final showdown, but I still really like her character. She had a good chemistry between her and Jamie Lee Curtis as Laurie Strode. Also, Andi Matichak, who plays Allison in the film, again, she's a really good character. She has great chemistry with Laurie Strode as Laurie's granddaughter, and again with her mother as Karen. She's a really nice character. Again, I wish she was given more to do, but she shines in this film. And again, the finale, she also does some really important things. I really liked her character. John Carpenter's score. His son, and I can't think of the other guy's name, they nailed it. It's an excellent score. I really like it. James Jude Courtney does an excellent job playing Michael Myers. He honestly might be I think my third favorite after Nick Castle and Dick Warlock. He's really good. Alright, the kills in this film, they're solid. They're brutal. Like, some of these are really intense. I was, like, surprised. Now, granted, when I say brutal, I don't mean, like, over the top. Like, some of these are pretty crazy, but they're smart about it. Like, they'll show us certain aspects of the kill, or they'll show us the aftermath, and all around, it's really good. And it's very effective. The cinematography is pretty good, especially the tracking shots. Seeing Michael going from house to house, killing a couple people, which we've seen already, so that's not a spoiler. Like, I really like that aspect. Like, I really think they capture Michael Myers' movements very effectively. All around, the camera work is really good. Okay, the last major positive, the finale for this film, even though I'm not going to spoil it, it's intense, scary, suspenseful. That ending is epic. That's honestly, it might be my favorite ending to any Halloween film at this point. It was really good. That's one major positive I can say. Alright, now I'm going to discuss the negatives. They're not super major, but I do have to bring these up because these did bother me. Alright. First things first. Something happens in the third act, which I'm not going to say what character it's with, though a lot of you guys are going to know what I'm talking about very soon when you see the film. This character does something so out of nowhere, and it's going to throw you off, and honestly, I hated this twist, and it doesn't actually go anywhere because like 2 minutes later it's irrelevant. And that's all I'm going to say, but it's a really stupid idea. They never should have done it. Like, I wish they would edit this out of the movie. It would make the movie better. Okay, another negative in the third act, which is another small one. There's two cops. They're basically having a funny, weird conversation. That's all I'm going to say, but they're joking around, and it should not be there. It's in a bad spot. It disrupts the flow of the third act big time while it's there, and it's definitely, I say, it definitely hurts the beginning of the third act. It definitely should not be there. I don't know why they filmed it. Alright, the other major thing I'm going to say is I find the plot focuses away from Laurie Strode a little bit too much to characters we don't really care about. There's a bunch of minor characters that are obviously Michael's, body count, but some of them, honestly, you could take out of the film and you would never miss them. They're really pointless characters, and some of them are not well written. And yeah, it's a sluggish thing. And also, there's another scene. Now, you guys have seen the trailers. You know about the babysitter. Now, I'm not going to talk about what exactly happens, but something happens during that scene that kind of disrupts the terrifying nature of it. It's somewhat kind of funny, but it's a stupid funny scene that really shouldn't be there. And it takes away from the impact of the scene. Like, again, I wish it wasn't there. It's another negative. I would say there's at least 2 or 3 characters you could take out of this film. Nobody would miss them. Like, you could edit them out and it'd be a better film because of it. So that's one negative thing. The plot, it goes away from Laurie Strode too much to these minor characters. Some of them you just don't care about. And some of the ones you might care about may not be around for too long, and that's all I'm gonna say. It's unfortunate. Like, every time you see Jamie Lee Curtis as Laurie Strode in a scene, it elevates this movie to fantastic heights. But when they're focusing on these minor characters, it really can drag things down. So it is definitely a bit frustrating. Now, the only good news is it doesn't happen too often. So that is one good thing about it. But it is there. Now, granted, you guys might feel a little bit differently, but for me, between that stupid twist they do in the third act, along with a couple other places of bad humor, and focusing a little bit too much on characters that you just don't care about, it does definitely hurt the flow of the film, unfortunately. Another big one I'm going to say is this. I find for a lot of the film there's not a lot of suspense, not a lot of build up to the kills. Now, the kills are great, and there is a couple definitely well-designed ones, and like the one where Michael goes from house to house. I do like that, and there is a terrifying scene, but I feel there's not enough build up to some of these kills. But I will say, when the third act hits, when everything actually gets going in the final showdown, that's when you get suspense. That's when you get atmosphere. That's when you get tension and fear. That's where everything basically comes into play, but I wish there was more of it throughout the film. Like, I find the pacing is a little bit too fast for its own good, and it is unfortunate. I can't think of anything else negative right now, because obviously I can't spoil things for you guys. I don't want to spoil things. I want you guys to see the movie for yourselves. Now, I know it sounds like I'm being super negative, but that being said, I'm not. It's just these are some major things that definitely draw this film down. The reason I have to bring it up is because whenever Laurie is in this film, it feels like a 10 out of 10. But when she's not on screen, it drags it down, unfortunately. That's what really comes down to. Like, if these other characters were better written, like some of these characters have very cheesy dialogue. It's like, some of it's funny, but then other ones it's like, no. And it's complicated. It's difficult. Like, I feel a better balance if they were to re-edit this film and take out certain things, you would find a better cut of the film, but obviously they're not going to do that as much as I wish they would, though honestly I might end up doing my own cut of the film once it comes out on Blu-ray. Anyway, in the end, Halloween 2018, even though it does have some problems, and I do stress some, nothing super major with the exception of one, which luckily doesn't last very long, and that's all I'm going to say, this film is still really good. Like, I'm happy with it. I do see this film being stronger if a better cut of the film was put together, but all around though, I still really like Halloween 2018. Despite the problems, it is really good. So, my final score for Halloween 2018 is an 8 out of 10. I do think a better cut of the film can be created, but at this point I don't see that happening unless the fans push for it. So, that's where it stands. I'm giving Halloween 2018 an 8 out of 10. I still really like it. It does have some problems, but overall, it is a good film. It's a nice return to form. Michael Myers is terrifying. Jamie Lee Curtis is fantastic as Laurie Strode. And all around, I still really enjoyed it. I'm going to do my spoiler discussion video in a couple days. I want to let you guys have some time to see the film first. Then I will discuss spoilers. Let me know down in the comments, have you guys seen the film? What do you think of it? Do you share my complaints? Because I'm sure you picked on what I'm hinting at in terms of problems. And, yeah, just let me know down in the comments, guys, all around, what did you think of the film? Alright, this is the end of my non-spoiler review for Halloween 2018. I will talk to you guys later. See ya.